Hi, I'm Ms. Vung. Let's have a look at inverse proportion. Here we have an example. If I want to build a wall in my garden and the builders tell me it takes 216 man hours to build it, and a man hour is 1 hour worked by one man, it will therefore take one builder 216 hours to finish the job. Or in other words, two builders would take half the time, or 108 hours, and so on. So if I had only 1 hour to build this wall, I would need 216 builders, because if each of them do 1 hour, I would have 216 man hours. If I had 2 hours to do this, then I would need 108 builders, etc., etc. The question is, how long will it take 3 builders, and how many builders would it take to finish in 12 hours? Now, before we worry about answering this question, let's just look at the pattern here. The more time you have to build it, the less people you need to help you out. So this time it's not directly proportional, where when x goes bigger, y goes bigger. This is not happening. This time, as x goes bigger, y is getting smaller. We call this inversely proportional. As one variable increases, the other value decreases. That is, the more builders we have, see, going more builders, the less time. So the more builders, the less time we need. Or the more time, the less builders. So they are inversely proportional to each other. When one's more, the other one's less. So when you multiply the variables together, the cool thing is when you multiply these together, you get your constant value. So t times n, for example, gives me 216. And you could rearrange this and notice that when I bring n to the other side, we get t is equal to 216 over n. Or in other words, t is inversely proportional to n. So that's how we would write inversely proportional. Inversely proportional is 1 over, whereas directly proportional, n would be at the top. So to summarize this in general, we would describe that as x is inversely proportional to y, and another way to say that is x varies inversely as y. And it can be written as y is inversely proportional to x, or in other words, y equals k over x. And where k is the constant of proportionality. We can see that this time when we have k, it's not y over x, but it is y times x. Remember, when we multiply it, we got our k this time. So we're multiplying, whereas when it's direct proportion, it was y over x. So let's go back to the question. How long will it take for 3 builders to build the task that takes 216 hours? So our equation here is t equals 216 over n. So if I have 3 builders, so n is 3, it will be t equals 216 over 3, which is 72 hours. How many builders would it take to finish 12 hours? Well, if I have 12 hours, then t is equal to 12, and I can rearrange the 12 and the n, swap them around, and I have n, the number of builders, is equal to 18 builders. I could also use a graph. If I graphed it, so the number of builders and the time, I can read off the graph and obtain my answer. Let's do another example. T is inversely proportional to n. When n is 2, t is 108. First of all, inversely proportional means n is equal to k over t. So now find the equation linking t and n. So if that's the equation, I have n, I have t, I can figure out what k is. So k is equal to n times t. So 2 times 108, which is 216. You might have noticed that I'm doing pretty much the same example, but I'm rewording it and changing it up to show you how else we can do that example. We could write it like so. So now n when is equal to, so the equation, 216 over t, because we have k there. Part B, when n is 6, find the value of t. So when n is 6, what is t? So we'll put 6 where n is, and then swap the 6 and t, and we obtain t is equal to 36. Part C, when t is 24, what is n? So where t is, I'm going to put 24. So 216 over 24 gives me n, and n is 9. Example 3. In the following table, A is inversely proportional to B. Find the equation connecting A and B and hence complete the table. So inversely proportional means my constant will be A times B, which is 50, and the equation will be B equals K over A, and because K is 50, we have 50 over A. Now with this equation, we can figure out what that part is. So when A is 8, I put 8 where A is, and now I obtain what B is, 6.25. And likewise, we can figure that part out by using this equation and putting what B is, which is 4. So swap the A and 4 over, we have 50 over 4, which means A is 12.5. Okay, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.